welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're on a mission, really. We're cutting through all the noise, all the conflicting advice you see everywhere about health and fitness.
Exactly. We've got this huge stack of source material you sent over research papers, articles, guides.
A bit of everything.
Yeah. And our goal is to just drill down to the bedrock fundamentals. What actually works, what's sustainable, and what you can, start doing today.
So this isn't about the latest fad diet or some crazy workout routine.
Not at all. This is about distilling the core principles of personal wellness, the non-negotiables that really support long-term health, not just a quick fix.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The sources are really clear on one thing from the get-go. Health isn't just physical.
Right. That's the foundation. It's a structure built on 4 key pillars. You have physical, of course, but also mental, emotional, and social well-being.
And if you only focus on one, say what you're doing in the gym,
The whole thing can collapse. I mean, you can't have lasting physical change without mental resilience and, some emotional stability.
yeah,
They all feed into each other.
it's all connected.
It's totally interconnected.
Yeah.
If you get enough sleep, that's a physical thing, right? But it makes you handle stress better, which is emotional. And then you have the energy to see friends, which is social.
I can definitely speak to that. I just got back from a quick jog this morning, and it's amazing how that simple physical act just shifts your entire mental state for the rest of the day.
It sets the tone. And environment plays a huge part in that, too. Sources point out how different it is depending on where you live.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you're in a place like Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
with all those amazing parks and trails, it's almost effortless to get outside.
Whereas somewhere like Austin, Texas, the weather is great most of the year, but in the summer.
That intense heat, yeah. You have to adapt. Maybe you move your workouts indoors, or you find a community to keep you going.
That's the key for me, the social factor. I joined a cycling group, and suddenly it's not a chore.
It's that accountability.
Exactly. It taps right into that social pillar we were talking about. But no matter how you move or where you do it, all the sources agree on one thing:
Yep. It all starts with what you put into your body.
the fuel. Which brings us to our first major section: balanced nutrition.
The absolute cornerstone. That old saying, you are what you eat, isn't just a quaint phrase. It is a biochemical reality. Every single cell in your body is built from the food you consume.
Okay, but here's the immediate conflict, right? So many people are chasing these quick results with like keto or extreme fasting. But the material we have here pushes back on that hard. It's all about balanced eating over restriction.
It is. And the reason is sustainability. It all comes down to that. These restrictive diets, they can work in the short term, sure.
You see the number on the scale go down.
Right, because you're in a massive caloric deficit or you've cut out an entire macronutrient group. But psychologically and physiologically, it's just not something you can maintain for life.
And when you stop.
That's where the damage happens.
Yeah.
It's the classic yo-yo effect. Your body, which has slowed its metabolism down to survive the restriction, suddenly gets a normal amount of food again.
And it just stores everything.
It gains the weight back, and often more. And in the process, you lose muscle mass, you damage your metabolic rate, and maybe worst of all, you lose confidence in yourself.
So if strict diets are out, the sources give us a much better framework, a visual one. They call it the plate method.
Yes, and it's brilliant because it's so simple. You don't need to count every single calorie. You just use your plate as a guide. The first rule is that everything on it should be, as much as possible, a whole food.
Meaning not processed.
Minimally processed.
Yeah.
As close to its natural state as you can get. So, okay, picture your plate.
Got it.
A full half of that plate, 50%, should be filled with vegetables. And fruits too, but mostly vegetables.
And this is about more than just filling up, right? It's not just bulk.
Oh, it's about micronutrient density. We're talking about vitamins, minerals, fiber for your gut health, things like magnesium for muscle function, B vitamins for energy. If you miss this foundation, you can hit your calorie goals but still be, functionally malnourished.
Okay, so half the plate is veggies. What about the other half?
You split that remaining half into 2 quarters. So 1/4 of your total plate, 25%, should be a source of lean protein.
Like chicken, fish.
Chicken, fish, eggs, or if you're plant-based, things like lentils, beans, tofu. Protein is critical for repairing tissue, but it's also the king of satiety
It keeps you feeling full.
for much longer than carbs or fats. A meal with adequate protein prevents those crashes and cravings an hour later.
Good to know. And the final quarter, this is the one where I think a lot of people get into trouble.
It is. That last 25% is for your carbohydrates. But, and this is the key, they have to be complex carbohydrates.
So not white bread or sugary cereal.
Exactly. We're talking quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes, whole oats, things with a lot of fiber. That fiber slows down digestion.
Which prevents the sugar spike.
It prevents the huge spike and the inevitable crash that follows. Simple carbs are like throwing kindling on a fire, a big flash, and then it's gone. Complex carbs are the logs that burn steadily for hours.
Okay, but we're missing one macro here. Fats. They aren't in the plate divisions.
No, but they are absolutely crucial. You have to include healthy fats with your meals. Things like avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oil.
Why are they so important?
Well, for one, they support brain function and help manage inflammation. But here's the kicker. Certain vitamins, specifically A, D, E, and K, are fat-soluble.
Meaning you need fat to absorb them.
Precisely. So if you eat a huge salad full of vitamin-rich vegetables, but you use a fat-free dressing, you're literally preventing your body from absorbing a lot of those key nutrients. You're missing out on the benefits.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. Okay, so that's the food. Let's talk about the most basic component of all, hydration.
Water. It seems so simple, but it's the medium for, well, basically every process in your body. It regulates temperature. It's essential for digestion.
And it moves nutrients around.
It's the transport system. It carries nutrients into your cells, and just as importantly, it flushes the waste products out.
Yeah.
Without enough water, your whole system just gets sluggish.
The sources give a baseline target, something like 8 glasses a day. But that feels a bit generic.
It is a bare minimum. Your needs change dramatically based on your activity level, the climate you live in, even how much coffee you drink. But we need to go a step deeper than just water volume.
What's the next step?
We have to talk about electrolytes.
Okay, so what is an electrolyte, really, besides something they put in sports drinks?
They're minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium, that carry an electric charge. And they are absolutely vital for everything from nerve signals to muscle contraction.
I see.
If you're sweating a lot and you just chug plain water, you can actually dilute the electrolytes you have left in your system.
And that causes problems?
Big problems. Muscle cramps, headaches, fatigue. It's a condition called hyponatremia. So replacing those minerals is just as important as replacing the water itself.
That makes a lot of sense. And there was one more point about hydration that I thought was brilliant. The connection between thirst and hunger.
This is such a simple but powerful life hack. The brain signals for mild thirst and mild hunger are incredibly similar.
So you can think you're hungry when you're actually just thirsty.
Very often, yes.
Yeah.
You feel a little dip in energy or some brain fog, and your first impulse is to grab a snack. But if you have a big glass of water first and wait 10 minutes,
The hunger might just disappear.
in many cases it does. It's an incredibly effective way to cut down on unnecessary snacking without even trying.
That's a great takeaway. Okay, so we've covered the what, the fuel, and the water. Now let's get into the when. Strategic eating, and then the power of sleep.
Right. Optimizing your meal strategy. This is where timing comes into play, and it's mostly about working with your body's natural rhythms.
You mean our circadian rhythms?
Exactly. Our metabolism isn't constant throughout the day. Your insulin sensitivity, your ability to process sugars effectively, is generally highest in the morning.
So that old advice about breakfast being the most important meal of the day actually has some science behind it.
It really does. Eating within about an hour of waking up takes advantage of that peak metabolic efficiency. It tells your body that fuel is available and it doesn't need to conserve energy or release stress hormones.
And then for the rest of the day, it's about consistency.
It's all about stability. Spacing your meals out, say, every 3 to 4 hours keeps your blood sugar from going on a roller coaster ride.
You avoid the big peaks and valleys.
Yes. If you wait too long to eat, your blood sugar plummets. Your body panics and sends out a desperate signal for quick energy.
And that's when you crave sugar and junk food.
That's when all rational food choices go out the window. Keeping things stable prevents that panic response.
The source has also mentioned a really interesting psychological trick for portion control. It wasn't about the food at all.
Ah, yes. The smaller plates. It's a simple cognitive illusion, but it's remarkably effective.
How does it work?
If you put a normal portion of food on a huge dinner plate, the empty space around it makes the meal look small and unsatisfying. Your brain registers it as not enough.
But if you put that same amount of food on a smaller salad plate,
The plate looks full, even overflowing. Your brain gets a visual cue of abundance and feels more satisfied with the exact same amount of food. It's a way to manage portions without feeling deprived.
that's a great tip. Okay, let's shift gears to what might be the most underrated part of health. Sleep.
If nutrition is the fuel, sleep is when the mechanics come in to do all the repairs. We tend to sacrifice it first because it feels unproductive.
Like lost time.
Yeah, but it's actually the most productive biological process there is. It's when your body repairs muscle tissue, synthesizes proteins, and consolidates memories. If you don't get 7 to 9 hours, you are constantly in a state of breakdown.
And the sources mention something specific about the brain, a kind of cleanup crew that only works when we're asleep.
The glymphatic system. It's incredible. During deep sleep, this system activates and essentially flushes out metabolic waste that builds up in the brain during the day.
Waste products like what?
Things like beta amyloid proteins, which are linked to neurodegenerative diseases. If you're consistently sleep deprived, that cleanup process is inefficient. That's where the brain fog and poor decision-making come from.
So we know we need it, 7 to 9 hours. What are the practical evidence-based things you can do to actually get that quality sleep?
The most important thing is creating a solid bedtime routine. And the foundation of that routine is consistency.
Same bedtime, same wake-up time, even on weekends.
As much as possible, yes. It reinforces your body's internal clock. The next non-negotiable is managing light exposure.
The screens, phones, tablets, TVs.
You have to put them away for at least an hour before bed.
Right.
The blue light they emit directly suppresses the production of melatonin.
And melatonin is the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep.
Right, you're basically telling your brain it's the middle of the day,
Yeah.
right when you want it to power down.
So no screens. What about the room itself?
Your sleep environment should be cool, dark, and quiet. A cooler room temperature actually helps trigger the drop in core body temperature that initiates sleep. And you want it as dark as possible to maximize that melatonin release.
And then just winding down.
Winding down is key. Read a physical book, do some gentle stretching, deep breathing exercises, anything that signals to your nervous system that it's safe to switch from fight or flight to rest and digest.
Okay, now for the connection that I think is going to blow a lot of people's minds, the direct link between not sleeping enough and completely sabotaging your diet.
It's a hormonal cascade. It completely undermines your willpower, and it's not your fault. It's pure biology.
It all comes down to two hormones, right? Leptin and ghrelin.
That's right. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone. It's made in your stomach, and it sends a signal to your brain that says, hey, I'm hungry. Go eat.
The go signal.
Exactly. And then leptin is the satiety hormone. It's produced by your fat cells and tells your brain, okay, we're full. You can stop eating now.
The stop signal. So what happens to that balance when you only get, say, 5 hours of sleep?
It's a catastrophe. Your body dramatically increases its production of ghrelin, the go signal,
Yeah.
and it decreases the production of leptin, the stop signal.
So you're getting more signals to eat and fewer signals to stop?
It's even worse than that. The sleep deprivation also makes your brain less sensitive to whatever leptin is still around. So even if the stop signal is there, your brain is essentially ignoring it.
Wow. So you are biologically programmed to be hungrier and less satisfied.
Precisely. And the cravings that result aren't for broccoli. Your exhausted brain wants the fastest possible energy source it can find.
Sugar. Simple carbs.
High glycemic foods. It's a desperate plea for a quick glucose rush. So if you're struggling with intense cravings in the afternoon, the answer might not be more willpower. You might be going to bed an hour earlier.
That is a game changer. Okay, we have laid the internal groundwork. Fuel, timing, recovery. Now let's move outward to fitness. And we need to start by redefining what that even means.
We absolutely do. The sources really push back against the social media version of fitness. The perfect physique, the impossible lifts. That stuff just intimidates people into not even starting.
So if we take away the aesthetics, what is fitness functionally?
It's about building and maintaining the physical capacity to live your life to the fullest and with autonomy. It's about functional strength to carry your groceries without pain, cardiovascular endurance to climb a flight of stairs without getting winded.
And flexibility and balance to prevent falls as you get older.
Exactly. It's about quality of life, not about looking a certain way.
A huge barrier for people is that they force themselves to do things they hate. The sources say enjoyment is non-negotiable.
Because consistency is the holy grail.
Yeah.
And you will never, ever be consistent with something you view as punishment.
If you hate running, the treadmill is just a torture device.
And you'll quit within a month. The best advice is to just find a form of movement you genuinely think is fun. Dancing, hiking, swimming, rock climbing, whatever it is. When you enjoy the activity, it stops being a workout and just becomes part of your life.
So let's break down what a well-rounded routine looks like. The sources outlined three distinct pillars.
Yes. Pillar number one is cardiovascular exercise. This is anything that gets your heart rate up for a sustained period. Its main job is to strengthen your heart and lungs.
And on a cellular level.
It increases the number and efficiency of your mitochondria. Those are the little power plants inside your cells. More mitochondria means your body gets much better at producing and using energy.
So things like running, cycling, swimming.
Right. The general recommendation is to aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity cardio per week.
Okay, pillar two. This is the one I think is most often neglected, especially by people who aren't trying to be bodybuilders. Strength training.
Strength training is crucial for a healthy aging. It does so much more than just build visible muscle.
Like what?
Well, muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, even when you're just sitting on the couch. It boosts your resting metabolism.
So it helps with weight management.
Big time. But maybe even more importantly, it puts stress on your bones. That mechanical stress signals your body to build more bone density, which is your number one defense against osteoporosis later in life.
For someone who is committed, how do they make sure their strength training is actually working?
The key principle is progressive overload. You have to continually challenge your muscles in order to force them to adapt and grow stronger.
So you can't just lift the same 5-pound dumbbells forever.
Nope. Your body adapts to that, and the progress stops. You have to increase the demand. That could mean lifting a heavier weight, doing more repetitions, taking shorter rest periods, or moving to a more challenging exercise. You have to keep pushing that boundary.
And the final pillar, number 3, flexibility and mobility work, the part everyone skips at the end.
Everyone skips it, and it's your injury insurance policy. When your muscles are tight, they pull your joints out of their proper alignment.
Which leads to things like back pain and knee problems.
Exactly. Stretching, yoga, Pilates. These things maintain the elasticity of your muscles and connective tissues. Without that, your strong muscles are actually more prone to strains and tears when you do something dynamic.
Beyond the purely physical, let's talk about the mental health dividend of exercise. It's enormous.
It's just as important as the physical benefits. Exercise is one of the most powerful stress management tools we have.
It's the endorphins, right? The runner's high.
Endorphins are a big part of it. They're your body's natural mood elevators and painkillers. But it goes deeper. Exercise also promotes the growth of new neurons in the brain, especially in areas linked to mood and memory. It's a natural antidepressant and anti-anxiety tool.
So if we're doing all this work, cardio, strength, flexibility, we also have to talk about the flip side, recovery.
Which is where the real magic happens. So many people think muscles are built in the gym. They're not.
They're built while you rest.
Correct. The workout creates tiny micro tears in the muscle fibers. That's the stimulus. The recovery period, fueled by good nutrition and sleep, is when your body repairs those tears, building the muscle back slightly stronger than it was before.
So if you never take a day off,
You're just breaking yourself down over and over again without giving your body a chance to rebuild. You'll hit a plateau, your performance will drop, and you'll eventually get injured.
what does smart recovery look like in a weekly schedule?
It means taking 1 or 2 full rest days, no formal exercise at all. And on your other non-training days, you can incorporate active recovery.
What's active recovery?
It's low-intensity movement designed to increase blood flow and help clear out metabolic waste without adding more stress. A gentle walk, some light stretching, foam rolling. It actually speeds up the repair process.
And the warning signs of overtraining,
Hmm.
of pushing too hard for too long.
Constant fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Persistent muscle soreness that lasts for days. A sudden drop in your performance. Getting sick more often. Even moodiness and irritability. Your body is telling you to back off.
It all comes back to that idea of quality over quantity.
Always. 3 high-quality, well-recovered workouts a week are infinitely more effective than 7 sloppy, exhausted ones.
That's a perfect transition. We've covered the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. Practical strategies and actually setting goals that work.
And the first step is to think small. The sources are unanimous on this. You have to resist the urge to change everything at once
Why are small changes so much more powerful?
because they lower the barrier to entry. If your goal is to go from the couch to working out 7 days a week, the first time you miss a day, you feel like a failure and you quit.
The all or nothing trap.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But if your goal is just to walk for 10 minutes after dinner 3 times this week, that's incredibly achievable. You get a quick win. That success builds confidence and momentum, which makes you want to take the next small step.
This leads us right into the framework for setting those steps, the SMART goals model.
Right. It's an acronym that turns a vague wish into a concrete plan. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So let's contrast a bad goal with a good SMART
A
goal.
bad goal is, I want to get fit. It's vague. You can't measure it. A SMART goal would be, I will walk briskly for 30 minutes, 5 days a week for the next month.
Let's break that down. It's specific, brisk walking.
It's measurable. 30 minutes, 5 days a week. It's achievable. That's a reasonable starting point for most people. It's relevant. It's a form of cardiovascular exercise. And it's time-bound for the next month, at which point you can reassess.
Once you have the goal, you need ways to stick with it, tracking and accountability.
Tracking is so important because it provides objective feedback. Our brains are not great at noticing slow, incremental progress.
But the data doesn't lie.
Exactly. Whether you use an app, a journal, or just a calendar on the fridge, seeing that you've checked off 20 workouts in a row is incredibly motivating, especially when you feel like you're stuck in a plateau.
And the social component, the accountability partner.
This is a huge one. Committing to another person adds a layer of social pressure that's very effective. It's a lot easier to bail on yourself than it is to text a friend and say you're not showing up.
It gets you out the door on days you otherwise wouldn't.
It really does. Success rates go way up when you have someone in your corner.
We also have to plan for life to happen. Obstacles are inevitable.
You have to anticipate them. If you know next week is going to be crazy busy at work, don't just throw your hands up. Plan for it. Maybe you schedule 3 20-minute workouts instead of your usual hour-long sessions.
It's about being flexible and avoiding that all-or-nothing mindset again.
It is. The goal is progress, not perfection. If you miss a workout or eat a slice of cake, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. You just get right back on track with your next meal or your next scheduled workout. Self-compassion is key.
Okay, we have the mindset. Let's tackle the big 3 real-world barriers that everyone listening has probably faced. First up, the big one. I don't have time.
We hear this all the time. And look, life is busy. It's a real challenge. But at the end of the day, it's a question of priorities. We make time for the things we truly value.
And the solution isn't to find an extra 2 hours every day.
Not at all. The research is clear that even 10 to 15 minutes of focused exercise has significant health benefits. It's about efficiency.
This is where that technique, HIIT, comes in, high-intensity interval training.
HIIT is the perfect solution for the time crunched. It's a workout style where you alternate short bursts of all-out effort with brief recovery periods.
So like sprinting for 30 seconds, then walking for a minute, and repeat.
Exactly. And the reason it's so effective is something called the afterburn effect, or EPO.
Explain that.
During those intense intervals, your body uses up oxygen faster than you can breathe it in. So after the workout is over, your metabolism stays elevated for hours as your body works to repay that oxygen debt.
So a 15-minute HIIT session can burn calories for hours afterward.
Correct. It delivers a huge bang for your buck time-wise.
And on the nutrition side of the time problem,
Meal prep. It's a game changer. You spend 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon chopping vegetables, cooking a big batch of quinoa, grilling some chicken.
and then your meals for the week are basically ready to go.
It removes the friction. When you get home late from work and you're exhausted, you don't have to make a decision. A healthy meal is the fastest, easiest option available.
Okay, barrier number 2, motivation. It comes and goes.
And that's the most important thing to realize about it. Motivation is an emotion. It's fickle. Relying on it is a recipe for failure.
So what do you rely on instead?
You rely on systems and habits. You don't wait until you feel like working out. You schedule it. It's on your calendar just like a meeting. It's non-negotiable.
You make it automatic.
You make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. It takes a few weeks of consistent repetition, but once the habit is formed, you no longer need motivation to get it done. You just do it.
And final barrier, number 3, money. A gym membership can be expensive. Healthy food can seem pricey.
This is a very real concern for a lot of people. But health doesn't have to have a high price tag.
Let's start with fitness, the free options.
Your own body weight is the best piece of gym equipment you own, and it's free. Push-ups, squats, lunges, planks. You can build incredible strength with just these basics. And then there's the internet.
YouTube.
YouTube is an endless library of free, high-quality workout videos for every fitness level and style imaginable. There's absolutely no need to pay for a gym if it's not in your budget.
And for affordable nutrition.
It's about shopping smart. Buy produce that's in season. Buy whole foods like beans, lentils, and oats in bulk. These are some of the most nutrient-dense and cheapest foods on the planet.
It can actually be cheaper than relying on processed convenience foods.
It often is. At the end of the day, all of these barriers, time, motivation, money, they aren't stop signs. They're just problems that have creative solutions.
So as we start to bring this all together, let's synthesize the main message for you, the listener.
The biggest thing to remember is that this is your journey. It's deeply personal. What works for your friend or some influencer online might not be the right fit for your body, your schedule, or your life. And that is perfectly okay.
It's not a competition.
Not at all. Every single person you see who seems to have it all figured out started as a beginner. They started with one small change and then another. You are so much more capable than you think.
It's about treating your body with respect and kindness. That's the real investment.
We've given you the blueprint, the balance plate, the pillars of movement, the critical role of recovery. You're the one who gets to build the house.
And we want to leave you with one final thought to really chew on. Let's go back to that direct scientific link we talked about, the one between sleep deprivation and those overwhelming cravings for sugar.
That hormonal shift, the rise in ghrelin, the drop in leptin, it's not a failure of willpower. It is your biology actively working against your dietary goals when you're tired.
So this raises a really provocative question for you to consider.
The question is this: how might prioritizing your sleep first, making those 7 to 9 hours of quality rest your number one health goal, even before you change a single thing about your diet or your workouts? How might that become the most powerful, effective shortcut you could possibly take?
Could solving your sleep be the key to finally conquering the cravings that feel so impossible to resist?
Start there. Focus on deep recovery
Yeah.
and see how everything else begins to fall into place. That's the foundational challenge we're leaving you with.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Stay consistent, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.